One of the other stories we're watching today is what's going on in Hong Kong. Hospital staff there have walked off the job because of their growing concerns about the coronavirus. Our Chris Brown is now in Hong Kong, and he's going to be bringing us coverage from there. Right now, outside one of the largest hospitals in Hong Kong with the latest live details on this strike. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. A lot of anxiety here, certainly from healthcare workers in this city of 7 odd million people. Of course, they are right on the front lines, and the border with China is not far from me here at all. So what we've seen today, the first day of what's going to be, appears to be anyway, rotating strikes. Today it was the turn of non-essential healthcare workers to man the picket lines, and tomorrow it's going to be doctors and nurses. This is all fueled by the anxiety over what happened here 17 years ago with SARS. For a lot of people, the circumstances are very, very similar. A similar virus coming from a similar source, and in that case it left 300 people dead. So that's why you've got the healthcare workers speaking out the loudest today, demanding that the Hong Kong government go further than what it has and seal off this territory from the rest of China, shut down all of its borders, land, sea, and even air. We had a chat with some of the people on the picket line today.
To urge the government to close the borders immediately, to ban the people with Chinese passport or people who have been to China, to stop them from entering to Hong Kong to spread the coronavirus. We are afraid that there will be a community outbreak soon, like what happened in 2003, the SARS outbreak.
Again, as you say, Chris, those hospital workers calling for a full border closure. We heard already today from Carrie Lam. What is she saying? What is the Hong Kong government saying on this?
Well, she took a step towards what they want, but she didn't go all the way. Hong Kong says it will now close 10 of its 13 border crossings. There's still going to be, of course, the airport. That's not been shut down, although some flights have been curtailed, and some of the bridges will still be open as well. But the high-speed trains have been stopped. Carrie Lam said, in explaining why they didn't go all the way, simply that there's too much commerce, too much at stake between Hong Kong and China for them to completely shut things down. Let's hear from her.
Our strategy is really to consolidate as much as possible the existing control points. Now it's really down to, excluding the airport, there are only two. One is the Shenzhen Bay, the other is the Hong Kong-Macau-Zhuhai Bridge. And the additional benefit of doing that is we are channeling all cross-border traffic into these two cross-border control points. And because of the inconvenience that we have caused to people as a result, so the numbers will come down. And I have proven.
So the political context for this, of course, is very important. All summer long, we were here then. We saw the protests against Beijing's rule about, the curtailment of democracy. So you have a lot of distrust already here between many people in Hong Kong and Carrie Lam and her government. So, folks that we've talked to said this can go two ways. One, perhaps if the government handles this well, if the border is sealed off, in their opinion, that might go some way to restoring some of that lost trust. But on the other hand, and perhaps from the healthcare workers we've talked to, maybe a more likely outcome, you're just going to see that sense of anxiety and that distrust with the government increase. Heather.
Chris, really appreciate it. Thank you. Chris Brown is going to be bringing us coverage out of Hong Kong today, live with us this morning outside that hospital.